Anybody have thoughts just out of curiosity here on the Dolphins after 2 preseason games, several joint practices? We know there's going to be a joint practice this week with Jacksonville and then the final preseason game. Anyone have any thoughts to where they've changed their opinion on what they thought the Dolphins were going to be based on before training camp started to now?
I've been skeptical, and I think I'm still there. Just talking about the cornerback, seeing the O-line not playing together. Just the same things we've been saying. Like, the O-line had to swing me, and they haven't. Austin Jackson's been hurt. Like, that O-line they put out there against the Lions, I wouldn't want to play behind that O-line. And then we talked about it earlier in the show with Isaiah. What's his new guy's name?
Smalls.
Isaiah Smalls, yeah, where there is deep concern in my heart for the cornerback position, and we can pass rush all we want, but you had to cover somebody after a while. So,
although I have made the point before, though, like, doesn't every team have at least one position point that's going to be a deficiency?
Yes, but the other ones have to really make up for it. Like, and you bring them up, we know who they are: the Ravens, the Bills, the Chiefs, those guys. Like, yeah, can the Chiefs run the hell out of the ball? No, but Patrick Mahomes is about to go out there and go crazy if they can't. I don't know if we have that super strong group that's going to make up for the deficiencies.
Delana, you?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing that pops into my mind is I'm one of these people who fell for the overreaction of that joint practice, because then the Dolphins go out there in the preseason game again, and there was some really positive takeaways, I thought, from the second preseason game and from the first preseason game as well. But as far as like big sweeping takeaways from, what I had of concerns going into this season, I don't think anything's changed. I still think,
because I think you've been the most negative Nancy when it comes to the Dolphins so far. No,
from the macro perspective, absolutely. I'm still very disappointed with the idea that we're going into this season. I'm talking about the organization, and the expectations have to be tempered because they're not go compete with Buffalo to win the division. Instead, it's like, well, let's see if we can sneak in as a wild card team and turn some heads. And I wanted this year to be, let's go try to win the Super Bowl, or at the very least, let's go try to win multiple playoff games. I don't think that's a legitimate possibility, but I'm with where we were on Friday. The idea that this team is going to be a dumpster fire, they're going to win 4 games, Mike McDaniel's going to lose his job week 5. Like, I'm not there at all. I think this team, if Tua stays healthy, we talked about it a little bit before you jumped on today, Hawk. As long as Tua's healthy, which is always the big if here, I think this team is good. I genuinely do. Even with the cornerback room really being as thin as it is, I still think they're going to put up points. And I still think Tua to Tyreek and to Waddle is one of the best offensive attacks in the NFL.
But is that positive? But you're by far the most positive on this show, Hawk. Is the positive 10-7? Because that's like Solana said, that's a good team.
Well, listen, when you have Buffalo in your division, again, I know Solana's using the word tempered as if it's a huge negative towards the organization, but I use it in a grander sense of when Michael Jordan was playing for the Bulls, everyone had to temper their expectations. If you're in a division with Kansas City, you have to temper. I mean, if you're in the AFC, you have to temper your expectations, only because it doesn't really matter where KC ends up in the playoff seedings. You feel like they're a potential Super Bowl team. Same thing with Buffalo. So I do think you have to temper stuff. I don't think they could be a dumpster fire unless they get injured, just injured, more injured. ESPN did a ceiling and a floor for every team in the NFL, according to, what they look at. What's the best possible scenario and what's the worst possible scenario? For the Dolphins, ESPN has the ceiling at 11-6. Now, if they were 11-6, you'd have to argue that that's a hell of a season.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're going to the playoffs as a wild card. And
probably.
We're right where we've
been. But that kind of stuff, like, to me, you can't account for, we didn't have someone that was better than Josh Allen. Like that. I mean, Josh Allen's come around once in a blue moon. So
Yeah.
to me, if you're 11-6 or 10-7, like that's a heck of a season. I'll tell you what ESPN wrote, just as an aside. They say, and by the way, they have the floor as 6-11.
I'll ride with that.
Which I could actually see, again, if things go poorly.
Injuries.
They say the biggest X factor is the secondary. Can the Dolphins secondary hold up behind a strong front seven? Miami shouldn't have trouble pressuring quarterbacks this season with Jalen Phillips, Bradley Chubb, Chop Robinson, and Zach Sealer all healthy in training camp. Maybe you had Matthew Judon too. Behind them, safety Minka Fitzpatrick leads a secondary that replaces 4 of its 5 starters from last season. The Dolphins' cornerbacks are young and unproven, but their inexperience could be mitigated by what should be a proficient pass rush, which is kind of what we've talked about, that, hey, maybe your front seven is so strong that it gives a little extra flexibility to your secondary, which they're going to need. I mean, there's no question. I made the most innocuous statement of, I'm pretty cool with Storm Duck as a cornerback, and you'd have thought that I suggested the Dolphins were going to win the Super Bowl based on your guys' reaction. And I didn't say he was an all-pro, and I didn't say that he was the next coming of Jalen Ramsey. All I said was, I'm kind of okay with Storm Duck at cornerback. And you thought that, the way you guys reacted was I had said the most outlandish thing in the history of watching Dolphins football. So that shows you what people think of the Dolphins secondary. If just that innocuous statement generates that.
He's no Sam Madison. I'll tell you that much.
Right. But I didn't say that. All I said was, hey, I'm kind of cool with Storm Duck back there. Didn't say he was the greatest. Yeah, it was crazy. Now, I temper it all with Chris Cody has just DM'd me, we're going to stink. So, it can go kind of all kinds of ways, according to fans and broadcasters.
You know what? To be positive, because I am negative, Ollie Gordon, to have a big back now.
To me, if you can come out of training camp and preseason games and go, hey, I think we got someone here. Although we've done that with Skylar Thompson. But, if you can come out, honestly, if you can come out of training camp and preseason games and go, you know what? I think we got something here at running back.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool, I think.
No, that's perfect.
Even beyond that, like, hey, if Patrick Paul this year is a really good left tackle, hey, you made a great draft pick, right? Like, he's going to be given the opportunity to be the left tackle that they drafted him to be as a project behind a veteran last year and now taking that place. I think Kenneth Grant has already proven to you, not that he's going to be a superstar, but that he was a solid pick, high upside, and he's showing you already that he probably can take snaps already as a rookie in that defensive line. Like, there's definitely some really solid picks that Miami has made and some really solid improvement top to bottom on the team. Again, I'm just coming at it with, I wanted it to be more than that. I thought this was going to be let's get back to where we were in 2023, pick up where we left off, and let's try to go compete with the best teams in the AFC. And instead, it feels more like hey, we've made some lateral moves and we think we're really improving in certain areas, but we're not considering this to be like the all-in season.
And that's where the 6-11 to 11-6 go. If Patrick Paul can be good, if Austin Jackson's healthy, if Brewer's still there, if the front seven can protect the secondary, if we can get a tight end that's productive, there's a lot of ifs, and all those aren't going to be yeses. So we need a lot more yeses with these question marks.
Anyway, we'll find out more. There's one preseason game left, and then it will be payback day for Xavier Howard and the Indianapolis Colts in week 1. What's the
3 picks, 1 pick 6?
It's so guaranteed. There has never been a stat line more guaranteed than multiple interceptions from Xavier Howard week 1.
Yep.
What is the line on that game? Has it changed at all? Let's see. Because what was it? Weren't they like 2.5-point dogs?
And
wasn't it 1?
Was it 1?
I like game 1 because
Dolphins are favorites. 3.5
Anthony
points.
Richardson.
Oh no.
Bro.
Sorry. They're not. No, I'm looking at the Jags game. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the Jags game.
Anthony Richardson is not that good, and Daniel Jones is his backup. If you can,
I
you
love
should be able to
Miami in
beat
that
the
game.
Colts team.
Miami's +1. It's down to
+1.
+1. I love that. I love that +1. Oh, I just need them to post some player props on that because Tua rushing over. I mean, bet the house.
You know, when they go into when the Dolphins go to play the Bills, they're going to say this is a litmus test to see if you can play with the playoff teams. The Colts game week 1 is a litmus test to see if you can whoop a bad team. If you struggle with the Colts, the next couple games are about to be ugly.
Right. Especially when you've got 2 weeks to prepare for them and you should handle them.
Yes. So if we can't whoop the Colts.
I'm watching the Dominique Foxworth podcast just up on my my TV screen up here. And I have some white guy on the show named Charlie, and the headline underneath it is Charlie went to Magic City in Atlanta last week. So they've done our bit, except he actually went.
Told you, Hawk,
Charlie
you're
went.
safe. I'll make the call.
I can't go.
I'll make the call, Hawk.
I ask every dancer which show they prefer, Friends or Martin. And the only way I'm going to be satisfied is when I get the answer Friends.
I don't know what the white boy up here talking about.
Hey, do you consider yourself more of a Monica or a Rachel?
That ain't my damn name. You got to go.
Oh, you're a Phoebe. All right, let's give away these Marlins tickets. We've got a 4-pack of Marlins tickets.